Section 15. Real Estate Advertising Rules and Guidance. Today's Fair Housing Rules and Regulations, 2026 Standard. Introduction. Where most agents get in trouble. At this point in the course, you've learned how discrimination happens, how to respond in real-time scenarios, how ADA impacts accessibility, and how rejecting applicants can create liability. Now we move into one of the highest risk areas in real estate today, advertising. This section ties directly back to Section 6, Impact of the Fair Housing Act, and Section 7, Daily Practice. Because here's the reality in 2026. Most fair housing complaints don't start with a contract. They start with an ad. A single word in a listing, a missing broker name, or a misleading statement can trigger ADRI investigations, HUD complaints, broker discipline, civil liability. Advertising is public, permanent, and easily documented, which makes it one of the easiest violations to prove. What is considered advertising in Arizona? Let's start with the basics. Under Arizona law, advertising is defined very broadly. It includes written or verbal communication, online listings, social media posts, flyers, signs, and brochures, photos, renderings, or property descriptions. Anything designed to induce someone to buy, sell, lease, or exchange property is considered advertising 2026 insight. If you post it, text it, email it, or display it, it's advertising. And that means it must comply with both Arizona law, fair housing laws, online advertising. Same rules, higher risk. Now let's bring this into today's market. Social media, websites, and online listings are all considered advertising under Arizona law. That means Instagram posts, Facebook listings, TikTok property tours, website landing pages are all regulated the same as print ads. 2026. Reality digital advertising creates more exposure and more liability. Clear and prominent broker identification. One of the most common violations is simple but costly, failing to clearly identify the employing broker. Arizona rules require that every advertisement must include the employing broker's legal or DBA name in a clear and prominent manner. What does clear and prominent mean? Readily noticeable, easy to find, not hidden or minimized. Real-world example. An agent posts a listing on Instagram with only their name and phone number. That is a violation. Key rules to remember. Broker name must appear on all ads. Must be visible on websites without scrolling. Must be included in social media advertising. Must be spelled out completely. No abbreviations. Blind ads. A major violation. Let's talk about something agents still do and get fined for: advertising a property without identifying the brokerage or agent. This is called a blind ad, and it is strictly prohibited. Example: for sale, 3-bed, 2-bath, call now. No broker name, no agent identification. That's a violation. Owner-agent disclosure when you sell your own property. Now let's flip the scenario. You are a licensed agent selling your own property. You must disclose your status by including owner-agent in all advertising. This applies to MLS listings, yard signs, online ads. Failure to disclose is a violation and can be considered misleading. Accuracy and truth in advertising. Now let's connect this back to fair housing. Advertising must be accurate, truthful, not misleading. Agents cannot exaggerate features, misrepresent property conditions, create false impressions. This includes everything from square footage to amenities. Fair housing connection. Misleading ads can also become discriminatory if they suggest preference, limit access, exclude certain groups, advertising another agent's listing. Here's another common mistake. You advertise a property that is listed by another broker. You must include the listing broker's name in a clear and prominent manner. 2026 risk. Failing to do this can lead to complaints from other agents, brokers, ADRA. And yes, most advertising complaints come from other licensees. Signs and written authority. Before placing a for sale sign, you must have written authorization from the property owner, and when the listing expires, the sign must come down immediately. Real-world example. Leaving a sign up after a listing expires. Violation, the acre rule, precision matters. You cannot use the term acre unless the property actually equals 43,560 square feet. This may seem small, but it's a common issue in rural Arizona listings. Trade names and franchise advertising. If you are part of a franchise, you must clearly identify your brokerage. Include required disclaimers. Example: Each office independently owned and operated. Team advertising. A 2026 problem area. Teams are everywhere, but they create risk. You cannot advertise in a way that makes it appear the team is the brokerage. The brokerage must always be clearly identified and not overshadowed by the team name broker supervision. You are not alone. All advertising must be supervised by the designated broker. This ties back to your earlier sections on broker responsibility. If an agent violates advertising rules, the agent is liable. The broker may also be liable. The big picture: advertising, compliance, plus protection. At this point, you should see the connection. Section 3. Discrimination can happen through messaging. Section 6. Advertising is one of the highest risk areas. Section 7. Daily practice requires compliant communication. Section 14. Even denial decisions can be tied back to messaging. Now Section 15 brings it all together. In 2026, advertising is not just marketing, it is legal communication, and every ad you create must be accurate, be transparent, be compliant, be fair, housing safe, because one bad ad can undo an entire career. Online discussion. Question 1. Why is advertising one of the highest risk areas in real estate? Answer: because it is public, permanent, and easily documented, making violations easy to prove. Question 2. What is a blind ad and why is it illegal? Answer: it is an advertisement that does not identify the broker or agent, which is required under Arizona law. Question 3. How does advertising relate to fair housing laws? Answer: advertising cannot suggest preference or limitation based on protected classes and must remain neutral.